The call came on a Tuesday, right in the middle of the sacred pre-dinner crossword puzzle. Frank had just filled in 17 across. Post. Yoga state. 4 letters. Calm. He was savoring the small victory, the gentle hum of his brain still working, when his cell phone vibrated with a number he didn't recognize, sporting a stern-looking Washington, D.C. area code. Francis O'Leary? The voice was a baritone of pure granite, the kind that sounded like it spent its days barking orders in concrete rooms. This is Special Agent Royce Miller, with the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Frank set his pen down slowly. A year ago, that voice might have sent a jolt of ice water straight to his knees. But that was before the great crypto scammer siege of 23, before the 3 fake Amazon orders, and before his daughter had installed a scam shield app on his phone that mostly just sent him confusing notifications. Speaking, Frank said, his tone neutral. He leaned back in his favorite chair, the one that had memorized the shape of him. We have a critical situation, sir. Your social security number has been linked to a vehicle registered in Texas involved in a major money laundering operation. There are warrants being drafted in your name as we speak. Frank let the gravity of it hang there for a moment. He looked past the phone, out his window at his meticulously pruned rose bushes. A vehicle in Texas, you say? What kind? A black Ford F-150, sir. The situation is extremely urgent. To clear your name and halt the warrant, you must proceed to your nearest retailer, purchase $5,000 in Target gift cards, and read me the codes. This will place a trace on the funds and exonerate you. Gift cards, the universal currency of the utterly fraudulent. Frank almost smiled. He'd been expecting iTunes. Target was a new, ambitious twist. Special Agent Miller, Frank said, his voice taking on a tone of weary, bureaucratic collaboration. Of course, I want to comply, but in my line of work, I'm in procurement for the county. We have protocols, verification chains. You understand. This is not a time for delay, Mr. O'Leary. The granite voice cracked, a fissure of impatience. Just a simple 2-point verification, Frank soothed, now fully enjoying himself. He'd been in meetings with angry sales reps for 30 years. He knew how to drown a hard sell in procedure. First, I'll need your official badge number, for my records. A brief, staticky pause. Badge number 41783. Frank wrote it down neatly in the margin of his crossword. Calm. 41,783. Got it. And for the second point of verification, he could hear the scammer leaning in, thinking the hook was set. I'll need your Zodiac sign. The silence on the other end was different this time. It wasn't the pause of a man checking a script. It was the profound, airless vacuum of someone whose entire reality has just been gently, politely, tipped into a wood chipper. What? Your astrological sign, Frank repeated, as if asking for his blood type. See. A real FBI agent, a man of law and order, a student of human patterns and behavioral analysis. He'd have a working knowledge of the Zodiac. If you're going to be rooting around in my life, Agent Miller, I think it's only fair I know if you're a meticulous Virgo, a persuasive Gemini, or perhaps, Frank added, dropping his voice to a conspiratorial whisper, a relentless Scorpio. It helps me gauge your investigative style. This is a federal investigation, the voice roared, the granite now crumbling into gravel and panic. This is not a joke. Oh, I'm deadly serious, Frank said, clicking his pen open and closed. I need to know if the man tracking my alleged criminal enterprise has the stubborn focus of a Taurus or the adaptable intuition of a Pisces. It's crucial for my cooperation. So, badge number 41783. What's your sign? What came next was a torrent of hissed gibberish. A splash of words from a language Frank didn't know, the verbal equivalent of a computer throwing its parts into the air and screaming. It ended with a slam. Real or digital? Frank placed the phone down softly. The crossword waited. 17 across. Calm. He filled it in with a satisfied finality. He got up, walked to the kitchen, and put the kettle on. As it began its slow rumble, he pulled out his own phone. He texted his daughter. Fake FBI guy today. Asked for his Zodiac sign. You should have heard the silence. P.S. We're out of your fancy tea. He smiled. They could try to scare him with warrants and tales of Texan trucks. But you couldn't hustle a man who'd survived decades of office politics, PTA meetings, and the existential roller coaster of helping his parents set up Wi-Fi. His life had already been a masterclass in navigating the inexplicable. A scammer was just a Tuesday, the kettle whistled. Frank, a pragmatic Capricorn with a rising sign of pure, unflappable, give me a break, poured his tea. He was calm.